It's Thursday, July 9th. In the headlines, businesses urged to adopt ISO cybersecurity standard amid rising threats. In business news, Finance Minister Favour Williams outlines the rules for micro market. Regionally, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar reaffirms Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to Caricom despite Secretary General dispute. And in sports, coach says first International Basketball Federation FIBA World Cup campaign provided valuable lessons. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Businesses are being urged to strengthen their cyber defenses by adopting the ISO IEC 2701 Information Security Management Standard. The call came from Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Sansia Bennett-Templer, at Wednesday's launch of the standard at the Bureau of Standards Jamaica's headquarters. Jamaica recorded over 49 million attempted cyber attacks last year, up from 12 million in 2022. Mrs. Bennett-Templer says this internationally recognized standard can help protect citizens' privacy.
This standard provides organizations with a proven roadmap to identify risks, protect sensitive and personal information, strengthen accountability, improve incident response, enhance resilience, and build trust among customers, partners, and the wider public.
She notes that as Jamaica advances further into the digital age, local businesses must invest in international standards to better manage cyber risks and safeguard sensitive information.
A standard only creates value when it is used. My challenge today is directed to every senior executive, whether in the public sector or in the private sector, every board member, every public sector leader, every entrepreneur, every IT professional, and every manager with responsibility for organizational performance. Do not allow this standard to sit on a shelf.
The ISO IEC 2701 standard is designed to help organizations improve risk management, strengthen cyber resilience, and support regulatory compliance. Meanwhile, BSJ's Executive Director, Dr. Velton Gooden, said the launch was especially significant following a cyber attack on the agency in February 2024.
It strengthens internal governance, improve incident response, and build the confidence of customers, investors, and the public in our digital services. These are not merely technical outcomes. No, not at all. They align with the goals of Vision 2030.
Dr. Gooden said the standard can help organizations build trust with customers, suppliers, and regulators while supporting digital trade and wider market access. Finance and Public Service Minister Favour Williams is encouraging micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises to register on the government public procurement system. This after opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, questioned entrepreneurs' access to the facility.
But I'd like the minister to give us a specific timetable as to when it will be implemented. Because again, the success of these MSMEs will depend on their ability to access government-issued contracts. The government is the largest player in the market. We all agree.
In her response, Minister Williams said the work had already begun.
We've just begun that process, member. The first thing to be done is for the entities to identify themselves. They have to come forward. they have to register so that we know who they are in order to get them set up on the procurement system. And that work is on in earnest.
The implementation of the public procurement set-asides framework, which reserves a portion of government contracts for Jamaican suppliers, will be advanced during fiscal year 2026-2027. Minister Williams says registering will allow MSMEs to benefit from the government's public procurement framework. Under the Public Procurement Set-Asides Order 2019, a micro-enterprise is defined as having a turnover of less than $15 million. A small enterprise as having a turnover between $15 million and $75 million. And a medium enterprise as having a turnover ranging from $75 million to $425 million. We end the local segment with a weather update from the Meteorological Service. A low-level jet stream across the Caribbean Sea has been producing windy conditions across Jamaica and its territorial waters since early this week, and it's expected to persist through Saturday. The system is expected to move closer late this week, bringing very strong and possibly gale force winds to Jamaica on Friday and Saturday. The most severe impacts are expected across southern parishes and southern marine areas, including Pedro and Morant Banks. Fishers and other marine interests, especially those operating inshore and offshore the south coast, are advised to exercise extreme caution, as sea conditions are expected to further deteriorate due to these strong to very strong winds. The Meteorological Service will continue to monitor this system. In the business report, we learn more about the recently launched Jamaica Stock Exchange micro market from Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Finance Minister Favour Williams has unveiled details of Jamaica's recently launched micro stock market, from which micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises can access upwards of $100 million in equity financing. In a statement to Parliament yesterday, Minister Williams announced that already 25 MSMEs have successfully graduated from the JBDC, Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Accelerator Program and have been identified as primary candidates. These businesses, she explained, have already demonstrated a level of operational discipline and growth readiness for the micro stock market. And she shared the requirements for accessing the micro market. So you will be allowed as a micro enterprise to raise capital from 50 million to a maximum of 100 million. There needs to be at least 20% public shareholding with at least 50 new shareholders, including the sponsor. Provisions will be made to allow the listing of micro entities that are associated with junior and main market companies as a necessary provision to promote the role of sponsors in building stronger supply chains. Micro market entities will only require an audit committee separate from their board of directors. Micro entities will be required to file semi-annual unaudited statements within 60 days and have 12 months audited statements within 90 days and an annual report within 120 days of the company's year end. Micro entities will be required to transition to the junior market once they reach the capital threshold of the $100 million mark. Minister Williams emphasized that by creating a structured, accessible platform tailored to the needs of smaller businesses, the government and the Jamaica Stock Exchange are taking decisive steps toward the continued deepening of financial inclusion and stimulating economic growth from the ground up. The Caribbean Development Bank launched CBD Propel, a bold new chapter in the bank's flagship technical assistance program for micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, signaling a renewed commitment to strengthening entrepreneurship, innovation, and private sector development across the Caribbean. The launch, held in observance of the World MSME Day, marks the evolution of the Caribbean Technological Consultancy Services Network, which has supported entrepreneurs and business support organizations across the region for more than 4 decades. During the launch, a panel discussion featuring regional partners and beneficiaries from Barbados, Jamaica, and Haiti shared how CDB's technical assistance has strengthened institutions, supported youth entrepreneurship, expanded access to finance, enhanced tourism competitiveness, and fostered climate innovation throughout the Caribbean. For the trading period of July 7, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 7,150,450 units, representing 25.91% of market sales activities. 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited with 7,043,960 units, representing 25.53% of market sales activities. Carreras Limited with 2,698,284 units, representing 9.78% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in real estate, transportation, and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. Trading margins for the US dollar reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $159.54 and buying at $157.42. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 33-cent transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $112.98. That was bought for $112.65. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $4.64 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $213.69 and was bought for $209.05. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, financial resilience in a time of inflation starts with a strong credit profile. In today's economy, financial resilience is no longer measured by how much you earn. It's measured by how prepared you are to weather financial uncertainty. One of the clearest indications of that resilience is your credit profile. As the cost of living continues to rise, many households are stretching their budgets further than ever before. Credit cards and personal loans have become financial lifelines, helping families manage higher grocery bills, transportation costs, utilities, and housing expenses. Ironically, the very tool used to navigate today's financial pressure can limit tomorrow's opportunity. A strong credit profile does more than help you qualify for a loan. It can open the door to home ownership, improve access to business financing, reduce borrowing costs through lower interest rates, increase financial flexibility during emergency, strengthen your ability to invest in future opportunities. Protecting your credit score is not just about avoiding debt, it's about preserving your options. In our funded and focused feature, let's be honest. If you were the banker, would you lend your business money? Many entrepreneurs believe they have a funding problem. In reality, they often have a readiness problem. Before a bank approves a loan or investor writes a check, one question must be answered. Can this business be trusted to use and repay the capital? So here are 5 things that strengthen the answer to that question and that you should focus on before funding. So first, demonstrate financial discipline. Second, build a strong credit reputation. 3, show a clear business direction. 4, prove the business can grow. 5, reduce risk. The less risk you represent, the easier it is for someone to invest in your success. Strong compliance, sound financial management, and good governance all help lower that risk. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar gave the assurance while addressing the media after the 51st Caricom Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia that her country, Trinidad and Tobago, is still committed to Caricom.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has confidently reiterated her government's position on Caricom. Given TNT's disagreement with the decision to reappoint Caricom Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar was asked to clarify her stance on the organization. Leaders at the 51st Caricom Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia agreed with Mrs. Persad-Bissessar's suggestion that the matter should be decided by the Caribbean Court of Justice. Speaking during a media briefing after the meeting with the other regional heads, the Prime Minister said while she would have leveled some concerns about Caricom's operations, her position on the regional bloc has never wavered.
I have always said Trinidad and Tobago remains committed to the Caricom. We have unwavering support to the Caricom for us to work together to better the region and, of course, all our citizens. So I have not changed in that position. However, some matters discussed in the recent days, I think we've been able, through the chairmanship of Prime Minister Pear, and of course with the cooperation of the other heads, that we've been able to iron out some of the concerns I had. So my position has not changed. I remain committed to the Caricom.
The Prime Minister added that disagreements are normal within a family and suggested that they should always be addressed head-on.
We will have issues from day to day, from time to time. In a family, you have issues of concern, and my position is that we must raise them. We must not put our heads down in the sand like ostriches. We raise them when they are and try to find resolutions. So we've been able in this 51st Caricom Heads meeting to iron out some of those differences, and I think we are better as we go forward.
Political scientist Professor Hamid Ghani has since praised Caricom's decision to seek an advisory opinion from the CCJ on Barnett's reappointment. He said it will finally help settle the matter and that it underscores the importance of the issue surrounding Barnett's reappointment. Gregory McBurney, TTT News.
Still in Trinidad and Tobago, once regarded solely as an environmental nuisance, Sargassum is now being promoted as a potential economic asset. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government is encouraging coastal communities to harness the seaweed's potential to create jobs, spur innovation, and contribute to a sustainable circular economy.
I hope too that our coastal communities will look at entrepreneurship opportunities. How can I, as a person who lives alongside the beach, grew up with Sargassum, treat Sargassum not as a nuisance but as wealth?
What many see as a nuisance washing up on Trinidad and Tobago's shores could soon become a source of income. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin is encouraging communities to view Sargassum as an economic opportunity rather than waste. Minister Amin says Sargassum has the potential to fuel a circular economy, creating products ranging from fertilizers and biodegradable food containers to beauty and wellness items.
In terms of agriculture, in terms of fisheries, and the endless possibilities for this, the circular economy, and how Sargassum as a product could have so many byproducts that could give us so many other items, ranging from beauty products to disposable wares, disposable plates and food boxes, to fertilizers and a whole range of items.
While proposals for a Sargassum biorefinery are being explored, Minister Amin says government must first determine whether such an investment is economically viable and sustainable for Trinidad and Tobago.
There are proposals for that biorefinery that would allow us to process. And you have to weigh the economics of it, because having a biorefinery to process the volume of sargassum that comes to our shores, something that is seasonal, something that is not reliable, you have to weigh the cost and the benefit.
She's also calling on coastal communities, particularly fishermen, farmers and entrepreneurs, to seize the opportunities emerging from the growing sargassum industry.
What I am urging entrepreneurs to do now is to get involved. Do some research, because communities along the coastline definitely stand to benefit. There are fishermen who already have boats who go out and they avoid the seaweed when they are going to capture fish. But the truth is, if you are in a season when you have a lot of sargassum coming in, it should be profitable for them to capture the sargassum and bring it in and sell the sargassum because there is that demand.
The ministry is now engaging universities, manufacturers, researchers and international partners to develop a sustainable industry around sargassum, while collecting data to determine what support, training and investment entrepreneurs will need. Minister Amin says collaboration between communities, government and the private sector will be key to transforming sargassum from an environmental challenge into a driver of rural economic growth.
In St. Kitts and Nevis, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew says the official groundbreaking of the new cruise facility at Port Zante marks another major step in the government's vision of building a sustainable island state.
Addressing the ceremony earlier this week, Prime Minister Drew described the project as more than just the construction of a new cruise terminal. He said it represents the government's commitment to building a resilient nation that can withstand global challenges while creating opportunities for long-term economic growth.
This is really part and parcel of building out a sustainable island state. What does that mean? It means creating a country that is so resilient that whatever may come our way, we are so diversified that we will continue to not only survive, but we can thrive. That each sector can further diversify within itself to ensure that that resilience is developed and our sustainable island state is realized. And so I want to take this opportunity once again to really congratulate the minister and her ministry and all who are here in realizing that this is possible, and we'll continue to say in St. Kitts and Nevis, we are small, but we are Talawa, because our size does not define our capacity. Thank you very much.
Minister of Tourism, Marsha Henderson, also underscored the importance of the milestone, describing the project as the result of strong collaboration between government agencies, tourism stakeholders, and industry partners working toward a shared vision for the country's future. She said this project repositions Port Zante in the regional cruise tourism sector.
A central pillar of our tourism strategy is resilience. By diversifying and expanding our cruise offerings, we are creating new opportunities for increased visitor spending, additional overnight stays, stronger airlift connectivity, and broader economic participation. This project is therefore far more than an investment in infrastructure. It is an investment in our people, in our businesses, and the long-term prosperity of our nation.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority, SCASPA, Adiola Moore, said the state-of-the-art terminal will significantly enhance the visitor experience by improving the efficiency of passenger arrivals and processing while strengthening the country's capacity to accommodate growing cruise traffic.
The development of this new cruise terminal demonstrates SCASPA's commitment to investing in facilities that are modern, efficient, resilient, and future-ready. Once completed, this terminal will significantly enhance the guest arrival and departure experience through improved passenger processing, state-of-the-art security, and baggage screening systems and modern immigration technologies that are comparable to that at the RLB International Airport.
The groundbreaking ceremony brought together government officials, tourism stakeholders, industry partners, and members of the media to celebrate the launch of what is expected to be a transformative development. Once completed, the new facility will position St. Kitts as a premier cruise destination in the Caribbean, with a long-term goal of offering full home port services. I'm Andre Huey reporting for Television Caribbean, Channel 40 News.
We tip off today's sports report with some basketball news. Jamaica's hopes of reaching next year's International Basketball Federation World Cup, the FIBA World Cup, came to an end in the first round of the Americas qualifiers. But head coach Rick Turner says the campaign has laid a strong foundation for the future of the national program. Jamaica finished fourth in Group B after heavy defeats to the Bahamas in Nassau and Canada in Ontario in their final two qualifying games. The team had entered the last round of matches, needing a win to secure a place in the next phase of the competition and move closer to the World Cup in Qatar. The result marked a disappointing finish to Jamaica's first World Cup qualifying campaign, especially after the team opened with two impressive victories over Puerto Rico last year. Now on to the field with football. The 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals are set for July 9 to 11, with 8 teams still in contention for a place in the last 4. The quarterfinal stage opens July 9 with France taking on Morocco in Boston in what promises to be one of the most intriguing matchups of the tournament. France advanced after edging Paraguay 1-0 in round of 16, while Morocco powered past Canada 3-0 to continue their impressive run. Spain and Belgium will then meet on July 10 in Los Angeles. After both sides produced convincing round of 16 performances, Spain booked their place with a narrow 1-0 win over Portugal, while Belgium brushed aside the United States 4-1 to set up a heavyweight European clash. The final two quarterfinals are scheduled for July 11, with Norway facing England in Miami and defending champions Argentina taking on Switzerland in Kansas City. Norway stunned Brazil 2-1 to reach the last 8. England survived a thriller against Mexico 3-2. Argentina came from behind to beat Egypt 3-2. And Switzerland edged Colombia on penalties after a goalless draw. The winners will advance to the semi-finals on July 14 and 15 as the race for the World Cup title enters its decisive phase. Now on to cricket. Cricket West Indies has announced a 15-member squad for the opening 3 matches of the 5-match one-day international series against New Zealand to be played in Guyana and Barbados. 19-year-old wrist spinner Vittel Laws received his maiden senior call-up. Earlier this year, he was named the ICC Under-19 World Cup's team of the tournament, where he impressed by claiming 10 wickets and bowling the highest number of dot balls during the competition.
19-year-old Vittel Laws got the nod for the West Indies senior men's ODI squad after impressing at the ICC Men's Under-19 World Cup, where he claimed 10 wickets and bowled the tournament's most dot balls. Former West Indies spinner Nikita Miller will join the senior team's Guyana leg to mentor Laws through his first senior assignment. Guyanese batsman Shimron Hetmyer was not selected due to his Major League Cricket commitments. Barbadian all-rounder Shamar Springer withdrew from selection eligibility following the passing of his mother. Kimo Paul steps in as his replacement. Head coach Darren Sammy says every match now counts as the team builds towards the 2027 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup in South Africa, Zimbabwe and Namibia. The squad assembled in Guyana on July 8th, following their victorious 1-0 Test Series win in Antigua.
And that's the news on PBCJ. Pleasant viewing.